Good morning, everyone. How are you? I'm here with Laura Avolese, and she is an amazing lady. She is a few-time author, and we'll talk about that. She is a speaker, and she's a real estate agent, so I can't wait to chat with you, Laura. Thanks for being on with us.
Thanks, Randy.
Okay, so Facebook takes, I think, a minute or two to get people on, and we will be chatting with everybody. So anybody out there in Facebook land is, sorry, I'm just looking at one thing while we're waiting. Okay, so Laura, today, I mean, you've got hi, Catherine. Hi, honey. Thanks for being on. And if anybody else is watching, please just give us a shout so we can say hello to you. So, Laura, we're not going to talk about this for the segment, but this is kind of a funny market right now in the real estate world, eh? Are you having fun?
Yes.
So is there action in the area that you're concentrating on?
I'm sorry?
Is there action in the area that you're concentrating in?
Well, things have really slowed down, that's for sure.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, because they were pretty hot at the beginning of the year, right?
It was insane, to say the least. And then things just changed overnight in probably mid-April.
Yeah, it was crazy. So we are going to talk about something that you're passionate about, Laura. So
Yes.
Why don't you tell us what that is, what we're talking about today?
Well, I thought that today I would talk about having a morning routine, just because I think that there's been a couple of times over the course of my life where I've worked on a morning routine, and it actually changed my life. And I find that when I give up these morning routines, life sort of falls to the wayside again. So,
okay. So before we get into it,
Sure.
I want you to tell us a little bit about who's Laura, so that everybody knows who we're talking to.
Okay, so
a little bit of background on you.
All right. Well, Laura's going to turn 50 in just a couple of weeks, and so yes, it's a huge milestone for me, and it's a huge milestone for many reasons because of the life that I've had, and where I was and where I am today. So it's pretty exciting to turn 50. I can't say that I'm not happy about it. I'm excited about it. And so my background has been real estate since the 80s. I was a young 18-year-old when I started in a real estate office, and from there just proceeded to get my license. I have two amazing adult children, and they are the apple of my eye, and they're the ones that I keep striving for. Real estate is pretty much my life, but I've had a yearning for probably about 30 years, 20 years mostly, to become a writer and have my memoir, along with teaching people to forgive and, empowering and inspiring people to know that they can be their best. I've had many struggles in life. I've overcome them, and I feel amazing as to where I'm at today in life. And I just want to show people that it's possible to create what you want in life. It's just it's a matter of mindset, and it's a mindset, and it's having some goals and just doing it. We all have excuses. I don't have enough time. I don't have money. I can't do this. I've got kids. But, I was that person as well. And the thing is that you have to make time. And when you take time out, even if it's a half hour a day, your life will change. And that's really what I want to, show people. I want to teach people. So that's my passion.
I love that. And, it's funny how sometimes it takes us 40, 50 years to figure out what our passion is and to go after it, eh?
No kidding. So my goal, I hope that, the young adults, the kids that are starting off, will listen to many of us that are entrepreneurs, that will understand that don't wait till like you're 50. Like, I kept thinking I'm too old now. Like why, writing a book at 49, 48, like it's crazy. So I hope that it inspires the young people because, it's difficult out there, but there is a way to do your best and get the best of life. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Laura, you have quite a few things going on. You have a few books.
I do.
Going on. Do you want to tell us a little bit about those?
Sure, absolutely. Well, my first big book, which I'm excited for, is my own book, which is my memoir, and that's called Breaking Barriers. Hopefully it'll be published by fall. It's taking a little longer than I expected, but hey, it took 20, 30 years. I guess a few more months is not that big of a deal. And that's a book about forgiveness. That's where I, talk about my forgiveness that I had to go through when I was 29 years old. It was huge. And the life struggles that I've had, along with overcoming and achieving so many things, including, a bankruptcy and $24 in my bank account, and going from that to making over 6 figures in 6 months. So when I say that, thank you.
Good for you.
Thank you. That's a big accomplishment. And, I'm very proud of that because it didn't come easy. I did work hard for it, but I just want people to know that you can do it too. Like if I can, you can as well. It just takes a little bit of hard work and determination. So that's really my big baby. That's going to be my first book. And then I'm involved in
that's amazing.
In the 365 empowering stories that I'm super excited about.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've submitted that chapter. And the next one is going to be the Empowering Women to Succeed Leap. And that one I'm truly excited about. Right now I'm reading, I think it's volume 2, and amazing, amazing authors, very inspiring. And I hope that my story will inspire others as well. And then the next step after that will be, I think, a book that will talk about maybe like the 7 steps to forgiveness. And so that will probably start soon. And I hope that that book kind of will help people to learn about how to take these steps. They're not easy steps, but they're doable. And if I can do it after what I had to forgive, I think anybody can do it.
Well, you're quite the little writer. I want to acknowledge Dwayne and Gordon on here. Thank you so much for joining us. And so, Laura, you really have taken to the writing and sharing your story. Can you tell us why is it important for you? Because you're in 2 of our books, but you also have a few of your own going on. So clearly this is important to you. Why is it important to you that you share your story?
The reason it's really important, Randy, is because I've had a lot of suffering in my life, and that suffering was extremely difficult. I lost my mom at the age of 9 through murder, and
wow, I'm sorry to hear that.
And from as a young child, I've been emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually abused, and growing up was not easy. There was obviously many challenges. I've had lots of abuse, and it's not a very good feeling, obviously. And when you're lying in bed and you're feeling helpless and you're feeling so much anxiety, I suffered a really bad, massive depression, and I have to say that the reason I'm here today is because of my kids. Because if it wasn't the love that I had for them, and knowing that I lost my mom at 9, and for me to think about taking my life, which I thought about often when I was in this dark place, I just thought about my kids. And so I'm truly blessed and grateful that I was given, this amazing gift to have these wonderful people in my life. And so I think that overcoming these obstacles and these traumas is very, very important to me, that I am able to teach others that, you can get over it. You can live through these obstacles and these traumas, no matter what it is. Whether it's, a guy cutting you off on the street or someone abusing you, they are tough. They're not easy to forgive, and it's not easy to let go. It's, I've done a lot of work over the last 20 years. I started my spiritual journey in 1996. It hasn't been perfect, but there's always ups and downs, right? I mean, that's life. But I think as I reach...
So Gordon's asking, sorry, Laura, Gordon's asking, isn't forgiveness hard to do? And I think that's a really important question. I'd love for you to answer it if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'd love to answer that question. So forgiveness is, yes, it depends on what the forgiveness is. Even the smallest thing, I think sometimes people find it hard to forgive. And I've been told by so many people, I don't know how you could forgive your father for murdering your mom. I remember I grew up Catholic, going to the Catholic Church. I had my priest come to my house once, many, many years ago, to bless my home. And my priest said to me, I don't know how you could have forgiven that. And that kind of shocked me to hear. But
right.
It takes time, and there's many different ways of using forgiveness. And, I think what I would like to teach is, different ways of forgiveness. There's so many different ways you can do it. You can do it by writing a letter. You can do it by screaming at, in a pillow. My favorite way is anytime anyone has hurt me. And even if I'm having a very difficult time, I'm at work, I'll go home. If I'm feeling a lot of anxiety and stress because someone has hurt me and I need to forgive that person, I'll go home. I have what I call my sanctuary room, which is my meditation room. That's where I read. That's where I pray. That's where I meditate. I write in a grateful journal. I do all those things. And I like to go home. I like to put on my incense and candles, and I like to first, say a prayer to that person, and sending love to that person. And sometimes it doesn't happen right there. It might take a few times. Forgiving my father wasn't an easy process. It took me 20 years to do. And I had a lot of, it was. I mean, there was a lot of hatred. There was a lot of anger. There was a lot of resentment. I wanted to see this man suffer for everything that he did. I lost, my entire family because the only person I was reunited with was my sister. And, I have a brother. So I lost a father, a mother, and a brother all in one day, just because I wasn't reunited also with my brother and stuff, who is living in Italy. But it does take time. And there is any process that you feel works for you, just keep doing it. Take baby steps, It might not happen today or tomorrow. It might take, a few weeks. I know sometimes even the betrayal of a best friend that I had took me some time to forgive. And, I sat and I just always sent love to her, and I prayed. And the best way is, this is how I tell people, because I've had this discussion and people say to me, well, someone like Carla Homolka, for example, doesn't deserve forgiveness. And that's a big thing. And I don't want to get into that today, but take that person, because we're all been children. We were all born and we were all little kids. And So I look at a 4-year-old child and think, this 4-year-old child was a very innocent child. And somewhere along the line, something went wrong. So if you can see that individual, whoever they are, in your mind's eye as a 4-year-old child, maybe you'll feel some love for them, you know? And so take these little steps towards that, and eventually you can forgive. I met a woman through LinkedIn, I believe, and she has written a book as well about forgiving the murder of her mom. And I just finished it reading while I was on my trip to Europe on the plane, and reading about the actual man who murdered her mom, I felt so much compassion for, because you know, he came from a military background, and, you know, who knows, he was probably abused. He was brought probably from one home to another, and no one showed him love. And so turned to drugs, you know, I think there was other things involved. So if you kind of go back, you might understand where it comes from. And one thing I want to empower today is young, well, adults actually, that if you have a child who's causing you problems, maybe sit down and talk to them, maybe get to the deep of what is going on. Obviously that child, that teenager, whoever they are, is going through something. Maybe they don't feel that you pay attention. Maybe they feel that they're not being loved. Maybe they're being bullied at school. There is something that's causing them to be who they are. And we can, as adults, inspire them and, you know, change them. It's funny, I was getting ready this morning, and I had a thought. I went to a high school, which was an all-girls school, and it was all pretty much nuns. And
wow.
I was a rebel, obviously. I mean, I was troubled. Back then, in the 70s, there was no, like, let's take her for therapy and let's get her help. We didn't have any of that. It was hush, hush, you don't talk about it. So I went through a lot of, you know, trials and tribulations, and I ended up getting kicked out from grade 10, just before grade 11. And it was because I was a difficult student. And when I think about it today, I think, you know, those teachers, those people should have maybe realized my history of who I was and where I was coming from. I was a troubled child. I had you know, I was probably, I'm going to say 4 to 6 years old, 7, where I had an old man do inappropriate things to me. You know, that's the start of my childhood. So of course I'm troubled. Of course I'm going to rebel, you know, so get to the root of the problem. And so I hope that today people see things and look at the young people in a different way, and not say, you know, they're troubled, they're into drugs or this. Help them.
Yes.
There's something going on the inside of them that's, you know, that's causing this type of behavior.
Well, I think everything that you've just been talking about is really opening people's eyes to have a look, because you're right. Quite often when the kids are growing up in school, it's always the troublemaker, you know, and nobody actually takes the time. And I'll tell you a quick story. You know, I have a friend who's a teacher, and she had a very troubled kid. This kid was known in the school, terrible, terrible, terrible kid. But she ended up having the kid, I think, in grade 3 as her student. No teachers wanted this kid, and she ended up with the kid. She actually took the time to talk to the child, listen to the child, built a trust and a bond with the child, where the child actually opened up to her and let her know he was being abused at home.
See, and
she was, you know, yeah. And as a teacher, you know, legally she has to report it, but she wanted to report it anyway. But this is, you know, when you just take that itty bitty amount of time to care about what's going on with someone, instead of, like you said, writing them off as troublemakers or stinkers, you know, and really finding out what's going on with this kid. Maybe we can help them. The family is ecstatic. They're so happy. They didn't know. Now this child is thriving and doing well, all because one person,
that's all it takes,
take that time and change their lives. And it chokes me up every single time because you don't know, like even your talk right here, Laura, is inspiring so many people and making a huge difference on someone who's listening to this episode. You have no idea what an impact you're making, how you're going to save somebody's life, how you're going to help them report or come out, how you're going to help them go forward and forgive and take a different perspective in their lives so that they're able to come to forgiveness and live a happy and peaceful life. Like, it's unbelievable. Let's just look at some of the comments before. So, Tina says, you're very inspiring. Sorry, it moved on me. You're very strong and courageous. And Pantia says, very inspiring interview. Diane says, so happy to have met you, Laura. Inspiring. Tina, yes, you get to the root of the problem, help instead of judge. Absolutely. Gordon, Tina again. Yes, one sentence can change someone's life. And you're absolutely right. One sentence can do that. One word, one effort to just care about what's going on in someone's head. And just to throw this in, I don't mean to talk too much, but sometimes it also relates to, sometimes people are grumpy or they act angry or, and you think, wow, what an a-hole or what a this or what a that, what a biatch. Well, maybe they're not, right? Maybe they don't mean to be acting that way to you. Maybe they just had someone pass away or someone did something horrible to them, or, you don't know what's going on in their personal life and why they're acting the way they're acting, and it doesn't mean it's necessarily directed at you. It could just be stuff that's going on in their lives at the moment, and consider that. Consider that every single day when you get up and, meet up with people. So I just wanted to throw that in.
Listen, I agree. I mean, I think today people get upset over the smallest, dumbest things, and people have, I have good friends that say to me, how do you get over that so fast? Well, I have every right to mourn or to feel sad or to whatever, but I don't sit there any longer than I need to, because what's the point? I mean, if I've overcome all those things, those obstacles, those issues, sexual abuse and mental abuse, I was so mentally, emotionally abused that I'm not saying I'm 100% perfect. I'm not. I'm always still wanting to grow, and we all should be growing until we're 110. I plan on living to 110 to inspire and empower people, and I hope I can keep doing that. But, I always thought maybe I'm too old for this now, and I've always had it in so hot, so deep in my soul and my heart that I could hear God saying, you have to go out there and teach this, but fear and lack of am I good enough? Am I smart enough? Can I do this? And I'm, still when I think, oh, I got to get up and talk in front of a group of people, how am I going to talk? What am I going to say? But you know what? It just comes naturally because I'm being authentic, and I truly am. I'm not here to want likes or whatever it is. I just want to help people, truly passionately about helping people, because I know what that suffering was like. It's not a happy place. And, I hope that my children will learn from this. I hope that they don't have struggles as they get older and older, but they've grown up to be such amazing human beings that I'm proud of them. And considering the life I had and who I was, I often thank God and say, wow, how did I get so blessed with amazing children? People that know me as a teenager and growing up, they probably looked at me and thought, she's useless. Where's she heading? And the passion today is there. And, I hope that this changes one or thousands and millions of people, because life is too short, and we need to stand up and do something about this, because, you know, why do we want to keep bringing children into this world if this world is becoming what it is? It's, you know, my dream is that all these young people that are going to start having children, that I teach them the better way. There's negative and there's positive. Why choose negative? There's hatred and there's love. We have two choices in every matter. So why not choose the one that's better? Why do we always choose the one that's harder? You know, it's like, it just seems like it. Why can't loving instead of hating be easier? You know, why be happy not be easier than being miserable and grumpy, you know?
Right. Exactly. And I totally agree with you. So sharing, honey, I think you have Facebook going on and another thing. Can you just close it if you do, please? Okay, so clearly sharing your story is crucial because you do make a huge impact on people, and whether it's a personal story or a business story, it's absolutely imperative that we share, because we will make an impact on others, saving lives, helping them go forward, et cetera, et cetera. So I totally agree with that. But I also want to touch on what we were going to talk about today. So how does the morning routine come into play in your life? Because you've had tons of experiences, a lot of them terrible ones, and you've overcome, you've learned how to overcome. Now you want to show others how they can overcome and live the same kind of life as you turn 50 this year, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And, and, you know, so how does the morning routine fit into this whole lifestyle?
So I believe that we all need to nourish ourselves. Our soul needs to be nourished. And in 1996, when I learned the power of forgiveness, I also learned how to do a morning routine. And then I kept that morning routine going. And then for some reason, you know, life takes over and you stop. And then I went through my massive depression. And then again, I picked up my morning routine. What I've realized about my morning routine is that it is a lifesaver. It changes my life. So it's very simple for me. For example, I get up, let's say 5:30. And I take 5 minutes and I write in this little book, the 5-minute journal. And the 5-minute journal is basically 3 things you're grateful for, what would make today great, and your daily affirmation. And then at night before you go to bed, you talk about 3 amazing things that happened and how could you have changed today. That takes really 5 minutes. I used to just have a journal, and I used to write, you know, 10 things that I was grateful for. So writing something that you're grateful for is very, very important, because your mind, you know, accepts these affirmations. Like I am anointed, I am great, I am powerful, I am joyful, I am abundant, whatever it is that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for this great cup of coffee I'm having this morning. So that's the first ritual. I then, I meditate, and I do different forms of meditation. I might do a silent meditation for 15, 20 minutes. The ones that I really, really love are the ones that Deepak Chopra and Oprah put out. There's one coming up July 17. They're 20 minutes. They have different ones each time that they put them out. I buy them. I love them because if I'm traveling, I can use them. So that's the other thing. I pray. And then sometimes, depending on what I'm going through, I use a technique called EFT, which is emotional freedom technique. And that just depends. If I'm feeling a little stressed or whatever, I might use one of those techniques. And then I go off to the gym. So I've just taken care of my spiritual self, my emotional self, and then I go to the gym and I take care of my physical self. And so I used to hate going to the gym, and I hated it until like even recently, but I knew it was important for me. I have found a gym now that I love going, and I get up and I'm doing like these classes and they're amazing. And then, it's about a healthy lifestyle. I love eating food, but I also know that for me, I need to eat healthy, nourish my body. It's that old saying, like, we take care of our cars better than we take care of our bodies, right? So when I work on this morning routine and I incorporate all these things, it really helps change your mindset. In the car, I listen to usually a lot of different motivational tapes. I love, or CDs. I love Wayne Dyer. I've listened and read so many of his books. And my favorite one in the last couple of years is Joel Osteen. I love the man. So I follow him. I listen to him. I buy his CDs. So when I'm driving, and I'm in real estate, so I'm in my car a lot, I can listen to an entire book almost in 2 days.
Right.
Sometimes. So it's really important to find what works for you. And I know people say, I don't have time. I got the kids and I got this. You know what? I know it's hard. And I used to be I love sleep. And I used to sleep till 9, 10, whatever. Have an accountability partner and start at somewhere. Start at 6:30 if you have to, and then move up to 6 o'clock. Let me tell you, your day changes when you get up early. I now am able to see clients at 8:30 in the morning. I've never been able to see clients at 8:30 in the morning, but I've done all my spiritual stuff. I've done my workout. I've had my breakfast, and I'm ready to rock my day at 8:30 in the morning. So I'm ready to rock and roll, right? So, and once you start doing that, people say, well, I've tried it. Well, how long did you try it for? Stick to it. Take 30 days. I promise it will change your life. It takes time, but you will, 30 days, give it 30 days. And if you need an accountability partner, message me. I'm more than happy to help you get there. But it's very simple. People think it's complicated and it's all this hard work. It's not. It takes me less than half an hour to do what I need to do, to nourish myself, to nourish my soul, and to give me that boost for the day. So I hope that helps.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I love that. And yeah, you've got Facebook open or something.
No, I don't.
Closed it? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going. Okay. So yes, it's Tina says amazing.
Love you, Tina.
So and thank you everybody for being on with us. So Laura, I agree. Like, we have to make sure we take time for ourselves, and for you to do it first thing in the morning means that you can have a nice, fresh, clear day, and then be able to go on and do the other things that you need to do. And you've got this personal stuff done so that, and I don't mean that you don't do anything again in the daytime or the evening, but at least you're kind of starting out fresh, right? A fresh mind, a clean slate, a positive attitude, and then you go forward with your day and you have a better mindset to take on the rest of your day, right?
Right.
Perfect. So I think that's a great lesson for all of us because, we get so busy and bogged down with all kinds of things that we do that we forget to take that time for ourselves and to clear our minds and to make sure that we're in a calm state and that, we're ready to.
And in saying that, Randy, I just want to say again, how important it is. Like, I know we're all busy, but if you want to have peace and you want to have a good life, let me tell you, those 30 minutes, your first 30 minutes for yourself, I don't leave the house unless I do that stuff. And
right.
I don't care how busy I am. And if I know I have a busy day, you have to do it. It's a game changer, life changer.
Definitely. So Gordon wants to know, why do you write? So we kind of touched on this before with talking about why sharing your story. So why do you write? So yeah, we can share our stories in so many different ways, but why is it that you choose to write?
I think I didn't choose to write all these other books. It's amazing how the universe just shows up and says, here, I got more stuff for you. I wanted to write my book for the past, since I was a young girl, and there was reasons I didn't write the book. And then it just all happened in the last couple of years, but it's always been my passion. And I'm not a writer. I didn't know how I was going to write. And so I did have this dream to write this book. And when that came to fruition, I thought, wow. But from there, all of a sudden, all these other things started coming up. And I thought, amazing. I'm going to be the author of, like, not only my book, I'm a co-author in your books. And then someone gave me the idea, once we finish my book, my memoir, let's write something about, you know, say 7 steps to forgiveness, to give people the tools on how to forgive. So I didn't think that I was going to write all these books. So I'm really excited, and I'm so excited about what the future holds for me, because every time I turn around, there's something more and something more exciting. And, you know, like, the universe just keeps providing. One thing I really am going to set a goal for is I want my life story written as a movie. I want a movie made, because it's, you know, it starts in Sicily. So, you know, the people go Sicily, Italy, you know, like I've had an interesting life, and there's been all kinds of things. I mean, mafia and this and that. It's like, so that's my next big goal and dream is to have a movie made about my life. So anybody that's out there that are producers, contact me. I've got a great story for you. I'm only giving you a few things. There's still a lot more that I've been through and that, you know, life has thrown at me.
So on that note, Laura, what's your website?
It's www.lauraavolese.com, and that's Laura, Laura, Avolese. You can go in there, you can sign up for my book, and once it's published, you will be able to get a copy.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. So are you going to be at the Empowering Women to Succeed conference on September 26th?
I sure am, and I'm bringing. So far, I've got one girl coming with me, but I share that stuff all the time on my Facebook, because I think it's so important for women and men, you know, to be a part of that community. Having gone to my first women's conference which was, when was it, Randy? Was it September? No, it was this year, I believe. When did you have the Toronto Women's Expo?
In March.
Okay. So let me tell you what's happened since March by attending your event. I have been on a TV interview. Okay. I am a part of 2 other books. I'm having this interview with you, and tomorrow I have an interview with Dwayne Richards. So all that's happened since March because of coming to the Toronto Women's Expo. So I empower all of you ladies, sign up, and Randy, give them the link and to make sure you attend. It's an amazing day. It's an amazing evening. Great speakers, great vendors. I met the one and only Byron Nelson, and and Lester. Hi, Lester. You know, so many great.
Hey, Lester.
Yeah. So you've done an amazing job, and I am so grateful that I am a part of your community and your team, and meeting Gordon. It's awesome. I couldn't be more grateful. And again, the universe provides, right? So I believe that what the universe and God has for me, they just keep showing me. They just keep putting me in places I need to be. So I'm excited.
Perfect. Well, thank you. And I'm glad that you've walked into our community, and it's your community now, and I love it. So thank you so much. And Laura, so the reason I was asking if you were going to be there, because Pantia, who is on, and Gordon said hi to Tana, except Tana didn't say hi, so I didn't see her. Tana, Pantia, yourself, you're all in the Empowering Women to Succeed Leap, 4th edition, and I'm excited to have you ladies. But if anybody wants to have, even though the 4th book isn't out yet and won't be launched till May of 2018, you can still sign books of the other editions if people want to get their book signed by you. So if you're there and anybody wants to come and get your book signed, please do. You can come and ask Laura or any of the other ladies or gentlemen who are at the event who would love to sign your book. So it's always a fun opportunity. Gordon. Oh, hi, beautiful. Thank you, Tana. Mwah. So Gordon says, Laura, are you a coach? Are you a Coach's Corner expert? Well, we haven't talked about that, so we'll talk about that offline. And Panthea says she's excited to be part of the book as well. So you two can like virtually meet each other here, unless you've already met in person. And yeah, I'm excited to have you in the book. Thank you so much, Laura, for sharing with us today. I know this is going to spread worldwide. I'm going to put this on iTunes as well. And you are making a humongous difference in the world. So everybody, please share this live and, you know, let's help impact other lives. So thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you so much, Randy, for having me. Can't wait to see you.
You too. So thank you. And thank you everybody for participating and for commenting. We love you. Thank you. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.